Let's go to Wednesday. We've got Ohio and Kent State. Another double-digit favorite here. The Bobcats, Ohio, 18-point road favorites, 52 being the total here in this game. Obviously, this is a horrible Kent. Well, it's horrible as far as they are the worst team in the conference. 0-8. They haven't won a game this year. 0-4 in conference play. There's a reason Ohio's laying a number like this. Can we trust this Ohio team is going to be the question. Now they're off a dominant blowout win against Buffalo in their last game, 47-16. Absolutely steamrolling the Buffalo Bulls at home. Parker Navarro, pretty solid this year at the quarterback spot for Ohio. But unfortunately, the one thing he's had an issue with is turnovers, 7 of them in 7 games, as many as he interceptions as he has touchdown passes. So that's not exactly what you want to see here in this game. That's a good point, G. Martinez. Weather in Ball State could be a little iffy tomorrow night, which could explain why that total is stuck at 48. So we'll have to check into that before we pull the trigger on the over there. But yeah, weather at this time of year, especially in the outdoor venues, always worth.
Yeah, there's a little wind, some wind and rain
consideration. So maybe pump the brakes on the over. Like I said, we'll see closer to a kickoff. But nevertheless, in this game, Ohio 3 wins in their last 4 games. Kent State, though, for as bad as they are, winless football team. They obviously have one of the worst defenses in the MAC and all of college football, quite frankly. They're down. Of course, they've also had some attrition at the quarterback position. Kent State, throughout the course of the year, we're talking about a team that has lost Devin Karkman, J.D. Sherrod, Drew DeShields, all the injury out for the season. They're down to Tommy Ulatowski, who I think came into the year as the 3rd quarterback on the depth chart for the Golden Flashes. And again, he's inconsistent to say the least. 11 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He's actually only completing 42.6% of his passes. Not exactly what you want to see, as far as a completion rate. He can move the ball, but he's also very inaccurate at times. That's what would concern me here about Kent State. But somehow, some way, they've covered a couple numbers in their recent games. At Bowling Green, they lost by 21 as 24-point dogs. Ball State losing by 2. They were 3-point dogs. They covered. But there's also been some games in conference play where they've been absolutely steamrolled, losing by 19 at home to Eastern Michigan, losing by 31 in their last game against Western Michigan. And for Ohio, they're right there in the conference race, but we're talking about they just need to win the game. They don't need to cover. This is one where, again, I lean to the dog, but boy, it's kind of a leap of faith. You're only getting 18, though, too, because we've seen them cover against in their last game. They were getting 24. They lost by 21 to Bowling Green. They lose by 21 here. You're not going to get the money, but I think it's just a few too many to be laying with Ohio, especially for as decent as Navarro has been at times. As many interceptions as touchdown passes as an 18-point road favorite. That's not exactly the profile I want to see out of my quarterback. What do you think here, Connor Mack? Ohio, Kent State.
Yeah, and a lot of these teams, like in the MAC, they're just, you want them at home. Like Ohio, better team. They're just not a team on the road that you want to go and lay points with. I think if you like Ohio, maybe look at their team total, because one thing they should have a ton of success here is running the football.
Yeah,
Kent State is just horrific. Basically, dead last. 265, and that's what they want to do. I mean, they pound the rock.
They run it way more than throw it, 100%. Yeah. And Kent State can't stop anything on the ground. One of the worst in the country against the run, so that could be trouble against Ohio.
That could be. So I think you just continue to do that. Now, I don't really want to lay the points like you were talking about. Kent State, I can't back this team. The defense is too off. Ulatowski, you mentioned, I saw enough of him at times that he come in last year. This year, dual threat kid, but he's pretty horrific passing.
Yeah.
So,
he is.
Yeah, I kind of look at Ohio, their team total, because I'd be leery of the 18 points, even though they should win here. Kent State's just been pretty awful in this role. They've had a few, though. A few covers, no wins. But I don't know when that shows up. But 2 home games other than the St. Francis were 52-33. So that would just miss. And then the close one, Ball State, 37-35. So what do we get? I don't know.